More public figures have spoken out against Hollywood producer Harvey Weinstein in a sexual allegation scandal that's dominating Hollywood. Actress Rose McGowan has become the fourth person to allege she was raped by the Hollywood mogul. In a series of tweets, McGowan also accused Amazon studio chief of having ignored her when she made the allegation to him. Yesterday, she tweeted the head of Amazon, Jeff Bezos, saying, "I told the head of your studio that HW raped me. Over and over I said it. He said it hadn't been proven. I said I was the proof." Well, Amazon said in a statement, Roy Price, that's their head of studio, is on leave of absence effective immediately. We're reviewing our options for the projects we have with the Weinstein Company. A spokeswoman for Harvey Weinstein said any allegations of non-consensual sex are unequivocally denied by Mr. Weinstein. Other prominent names in Hollywood have also spoken out. The Oscar-winning director Oliver Stone has accused the film industry and the public of prematurely judging Mr. Weinstein.
I'm a believer in, you wait till this thing gets to a trial. If he broke the law, it'll come out. There'll be a trial. And I believe that a man shouldn't be condemned by a vigilante system. So it's not easy what he's going through, on the other hand, either.
Here, friends of the TV personality Mylene Klaas say she was sexually harassed by Mr. Weinstein. And last night, actress Kate Beckinsale said he propositioned her when she was just 17. Scotland Yard say they're investigating a claim of sexual assault by the producer on an actress in London back in the 1980s. Meanwhile, British filmmaker Stephen Woolley said everyone should have joined the dots up over the Hollywood producer's actions.
There is a certain amount of shame attached to this. As I said, we didn't join up the dots. We didn't realise that what was happening to that person who had laughed it off was also happening to another person and another person and another person. What's shocking in the last week or so, what's been truly shocking, is the amount of people coming forward. And I'm afraid to say that this probably has been prevalent in our industry.
Meanwhile, actress Emma Thompson says it's a problem that's endemic in Hollywood.
I didn't know about these things, but they don't surprise me at all, and they're endemic to the system anyway. And what I find sort of extraordinary is that this man is at the top of a very particular iceberg, and I don't think you can describe him as a sex addict, he's a predator. But what he's, as it were, the top of the ladder of is a system of harassment and belittling and bullying and interference and what my mother would have referred to in the olden days as pestering. Is he pestering you? That's the word we used to use in the olden days, if you recall. This has been part of our world, women's world, since time immemorial. So what we need to start talking about is the crisis in masculinity, the crisis of extreme masculinity, which is this sort of behaviour, and the fact that it is not only okay, but it also is represented by the most powerful man in the world at the moment.
Emma Thompson. Well, our entertainment correspondent Lisa Mazimba joins me now. Lisa, so many allegations, a growing number with each day, it seems. Let's talk about the allegations made by the actress Rose McGowan. Yeah. And she says she was ignored by Amazon Studios. They've put their head of studios on leave of absence effective immediately. Just talk to us about the implications of that.
Well, this is Roy Price, their head of studios, who Rose McGowan, as you say, said on social media, ignored her when she said that Harvey Weinstein had raped her. He separately is facing an allegation of inappropriate sexual behaviour from a female producer who worked on one of Amazon's shows, The Man in the High Castle. Now, Amazon is becoming a very, very big player in the film and TV world. If you remember, the Grand Tour, Jeremy Clarkson et al. Went over to work for them when they left the BBC. Last year's Best Actor winner, Casey Affleck, for Manchester by the Sea, that was an Amazon movie. They're moving into the very biggest circle of TV, film and broadcast. So this is a very, very difficult time for them as they're hoping to expand into the Hollywood arena. And they've said that Roy Price has been placed on a leave of absence while some kind of investigation presumably is being carried out.
An interesting intervention by Oliver Stone, obviously very much moves in the same circles as Harvey Weinstein. He's speaking about things like trial by media, but of course, if it hadn't been for the media, these allegations may not have come to light.
Yes, I think it's a tricky situation. I assume the point he's trying to make is that let's actually wait and see how all this actually pans out rather than leaping immediately to conclusions. But I think many people believe that the situation in Hollywood, with Harvey Weinstein in particular, appears to have been such an open secret that actually it's not an overreaction for many people to be talking the way that they are at the moment. I mean, look at what's happening. He's been suspended from BAFTA, the British Academy. The Oscars, of course, the Academy over there, the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, are holding an emergency meeting of their Board of Governors over the weekend. It's going to be a tricky time for them because they, for some people's minds, they don't have a great track record in this area. For instance, Bill Cosby, who's had accusations of sexual impropriety against him, Roman Polanski, who of course pled guilty to child rape many, many years ago. They are both still members of the Academy in Hollywood. So people, if Harvey Weinstein is, say, kicked out of the Academy or suspended, people will say, is this double standards? Are the Academy reacting to public pressure rather than doing what's actually right?
Briefly, Lisa, do we know any more about the police investigations that are going on? I think Harvey Weinstein himself is said to be in therapy in a clinic somewhere in Arizona, I believe. Yeah,
those are the reports. I mean, we know there are investigations going on both sides of the Atlantic, in New York, where allegations have been made about him. And earlier this week, Merseyside police referred an allegation that had been made by an individual to them, to the Metropolitan Police. The allegation, we understand, actually took place in London in the 1980s for investigation. So those investigations are underway. Presumably at some point Harvey Weinstein may be questioned about those, but there's going to be a long way to go with all this.
Lisa, thank you very much. Lisa Mazimba.